Everybody, and welcome to another edition of Jack Regal Productions. Today I have my son Matthew, who's going to help me pick, well, he's going to have his own picks, and I'm going to have mine on 6 NFL games this weekend. Luckily, on Thursday night, for me, the Broncos came through with a 21-20 victory. It was a little bit lucky, but I was very happy that it happened, and it's on to the weekend games. All right, Matthew, you'll go first. The first game is the Cincinnati Bengals are -2.5 at the New York Jets. What do you think?
Well, considering that New York lost Vontaze Burfict due to suspension, I think that the New York Jets will come out with a victory. They have Ryan Fitzpatrick, Eric Decker, Brandon Marshall, and they picked up Matt Forte over free agency. So I think...
Okay, what do you have for a score?
I probably think 28-20.
That's a good score, okay. I also picked the Jets because I'm a believer in home underdogs. I think over the years, most of the time, home underdogs are very difficult to beat. I like the Jets once they got Fitzpatrick back. I think they're a better team than they were last year. The defense is still good. Some of the people, like Matthew mentioned, with the receivers, Decker and Marshall, I like the Jets to win this game outright 24-21. Next game is the Miami Dolphins getting 10.5 points at the Seattle Seahawks. What do you think, Matthew?
Oh, easily. Seattle victory. 42-20.
Why? Just quickly, why?
Seattle's defense is still good, but I think they'll have a hard time against Arian Foster because I think he's going to break out with at least 100 yards rushing. But, I predict Russell Wilson to throw 4 touchdowns and no picks, so 42-20 is my pick.
Okay, that's a good pick. I like the Seattle Seahawks, my Super Bowl pick this year. I picked them to win by a little bit lower score. I think they'll win 28-13. Like Matthew said with Miami, I think Ryan Tannehill, the quarterback, is very shaky. He will run into a buzzsaw, the Seattle defense, which I think is in the top 2 or 3 in the league. I love Russell Wilson. I expect he'll throw a lot of touchdowns this year. I think he'll hit Doug Baldwin at least one and have a fantastic day. Next game, here's an interesting game. The New York Giants are a pick against the Dallas Cowboys, which means the game's flat. There's no point spread. Dallas lost Tony Romo, unfortunately, a couple weeks ago to a cracked vertebrae in his spine, and Dak Prescott, their rookie quarterback, is going to step in and did well in the preseason. What do you have, Matthew?
Well, even though Dak Prescott did look good in the preseason, I just don't think that the Dallas can come out with a victory. New York Giants still have a very good team. They probably had a pretty good team last year, but I think their defense was very, very shaky because they had a very bad pass defense. I think Eli Manning will probably throw for 3 touchdowns. Odell Beckham catches 2 of them. Their defense holds them to 10 points. 28-10.
Wow,
New York Giants.
Blowout at Dallas, the Big D. I like Dallas with Dak Prescott. I think he did a good job, but unfortunately the first game of the season against the Giants team, who I think is a little bit stronger than them, they will struggle. I think Eli will get the job done. It'll be a very entertaining game to watch. Odell Beckham is a stud receiver, the guy who made the one-handed catch a couple years ago, or was it last year? I can't remember.
2 years ago.
Fantastic regardless. We still remember it like it was on a Sunday night game. However, against Dallas, I like the Giants 21-17. The next game is the team with the blue team versus the blue team. How exciting is that? The Detroit Lions are getting 4 points, maybe 4.5 in some pools, against the Indianapolis Colts with Andrew Luck back. Who do you like, Matthew?
Okay. I really do like the Indianapolis Colts. Even though they did come off an 8-8 average season last year, getting Andrew Luck back, very healthy, perfect. I think T.Y. Hilton's going to have a big day. Frank Gore might rush for some. And I really don't think that the Lions are going to do good without Calvin Johnson anymore. So I think for my victory, I think the Colts are going to win 21-7.
7, wow. Holding Stafford's offense to 7. Who has Anquan Bolden this year? The Lions picked him up. Good player. I like the Colts as well. I think Andrew Luck was going to have a big season, and a lot of people are down on him, saying he's overrated. Give him to the Broncos. I take him in 1 second. I think they'd win the Super Bowl. I've always liked him. He came out of Stanford just like John Elway. Smart quarterback. Had some injuries. I think the Lions are the forever, cursed choke team, whatever you want to call them. They've had times they've had good offenses but can't get the job done. I like T.Y. Hilton as well for the Colts. I like Vontae Davis on defense is a very good cornerback for them. The Colts win 24-14. All right, this is the game most people care about. Well, at least some of the people watching. Not mine, your New England Patriots are getting 6.5 points at the Arizona Cardinals. What do you think, Matthew?
Despite Brady's suspension due to Deflategate.
I like that, but he did it. It's BS, but go ahead.
Okay. I really do like the Arizona Cardinals, coming off a 13-3 season after losing to the Carolina Panthers last year. Carolina Panthers. I really still do think that the Cardinals are still a solid team. They could be a playoff team, not a division team. Carson Palmer come off with a big day. John Brown getting
Wide receiver.
John Brown, pretty good great receiver.
Larry
Fitzgerald still doing his thing, and Michael Floyd catching his passes. Then you have David Johnson and Chris Johnson and Andre Ellington. You have 3 running backs to choose of. I'm going to go on a limb and say, even though a lot of people are probably going to hate me for this, I think Arizona's going to win 35-14.
35-14. I can't remember the last time the Pats got blown out. Maybe the time against Kansas City a couple of years ago. I think the Pats are going to hang tough with Arizona because they have a good defense, well coached. There's enough playmakers on offense, although Gronk might not play. Garoppolo, I don't think is going to turn the ball over. Honestly, I expect the Arizona to win only 21-17. That means the Patriots cover. And I also believe that it would not shock me in the least to see the Patriots win this game. They've pulled these kind of games off over many, many years that I've seen, and I have full credit to this team, what they've done. 21-17 Arizona, wouldn't shock if the Patriots win. Here's our last game now against 2 strong teams from way back when. One's strong now, one's kind of mediocre. The Pittsburgh Steelers are -3 at the Washington Redskins. What do you have, Matthew?
Oh, obviously Steelers. Even though Washington did make it to the playoffs last year with a 9-7 Kirk Cousins, the Steelers were 10-6, another wild card team. But I think they can really pull it off. Wide receiver Antonio Brown coming off an amazing Pro Bowl season, maybe even All-Pro.
He was All-Pro.
He was indeed All-Pro. I really think that Steelers are going to be very good in this game. They have Ben Roethlisberger, who's pretty healthy after that injury against the Denver Broncos in the playoffs. And then you've got D'Angelo Williams. Is he on the team?
He's filling in for the suspended Le'Veon Bell.
Okay.
Yes, he's still there.
Even though D'Angelo did get hurt a little bit last year, he still had, I believe, like 12 rushing touchdowns. So that's a pretty good thing for them. I really think the Steelers are going to win flat out 35-10.
Wow. I don't want to watch that game if it's 35-10. Thank God I have Red Zone.
And I actually happen to have Antonio Brown in my fantasy league. I think he'll catch 3 touchdowns.
3 touchdowns. Wow, you're expecting a lot, but it's possible with that guy. I also like the Steelers to win because I think they're a much better team than the Redskins. I think the Redskins are a very average team at best. Cousins had a good year, but I'm not buying on him, to be honest with you. I love Ben Roethlisberger. He reminds me of the way Elway played at times. Antonio Brown. I can't remember the other receivers, but I know they're good. They're
Wheaton.
fast. Wheaton. And then the other guy was suspended. I like Pittsburgh to win this game 28-21. All right, Matthew, in closing, do you have any final thoughts?
Actually, I do happen to have a final thoughts. If you guys are wondering if my fantasy team will do good, I will name my fantasy league right now. I happen to have Cam Newton as my quarterback. Even though my dad isn't the biggest fan of him,
No, I'm
because
not
of
a
his.
fan at all. At all. No Cam Newton for me. Okay, what else do you have in closing?
I have-
Quickly, buddy.
I forgot my running backs, but I do have Antonio Brown.
How about a final thought on the games? We're picking the games here. We'll do fantasy minute next week.
Fantasy overall, I really do think that the picks that we made will come out true this week. Also, additional quick picks.
No. Pick one game. No quick picks. That's it.
Additional quick
One
picks.
one game.
One
That's
quick
it. You pick it.
Also in an alternative
One.
game. Yes, I know.
Okay. Thank you.
I have the Green Bay Packers getting Giving 4.5 to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Aaron Rodgers coming off a pretty good season, Pro Bowler. I really think they're going to win 27-10.
All right, me picking that game as well. I'm going to pick a little bit of an upset. I think Green Bay still wins, but Green Bay 23-20. That means Jacksonville covers. I like baked waters. Everybody, thank you so much for watching this edition of Jack Rigo Productions with Matthew Rigo. Have a wonderful evening.
Goodbye.